not the truth. Like, for example, every single exhibit, I have a list of every single one. Like, people migrated from Cuba because white people bad.
Oh, people migrated from Cuba because white people... That makes no sense whatsoever.
When the immigration policy is so bad on your side that they are literally setting up machete drop boxes to combat...
Machete drop boxes? This is my first time hearing about this.
...the stabbings in Australia.
Oh, right. Yeah, the UK tried to ban ninja swords.
September, when the ban on machetes takes place, we are rolling out through Victoria Police at 24/7 police stations the safe disposal bins. These will be at locations right across the state. They'll be locations where people can come and lawfully dispose of any machete that they may already have at one of these bins.
Why are they worried about their own citizens having machetes, of all things? What is the purpose of something like this? This is a waste of people's taxpayers. Oh yeah, and then these friends of mine say that, oh, when they cut USAID, they're just getting rid of stuff that Trump doesn't agree with. No. Are you telling me that you're in support of $1 million Iraqi Sesame Street paid for with your taxpayers that isn't even going towards the Iraqi Sesame Street? No, Shoe on Head did a whole video about that, exposing what USAID really does. And I'm thinking to myself, okay, friend, so-called friend of mine, keep telling yourself that.
Safely and securely.
When as a woman
Crikey! That bitch should put some makeup on that!
or lesbian, you're realizing that a good majority of these illegal immigrants that are coming into our Western world are not pro-women or pro-gay. When you see that leftists love protecting criminals instead of American values.
We just saw where we have illegal aliens, that all you aldermen that was just in here fighting for illegal aliens, their rights. Now, we just had an illegal alien kill an Illinois woman, Megan Bowles, stuff her body in bleach in a container.
What the fuck does...
A judge let him off, and we know that you all arrest these illegal aliens and let them right back out in our community.
And you know damn well the left is ever going to record a black woman who is against that kind of stuff.
And now you all want to tell us, and all of you all were advocating to keep them here in due process. And you want to keep them in our communities and not allow ICE to come in and even get the criminals, the public safety threats.
When you start to see the fall of...
No shit. No, you have all of these virtue-signaling, moral, grandstanding activist judges saying that, oh, but what about all the families? And it's like, why is there any reason that the whole family can't go with them? And it's like, and obviously they blatantly ignore all of the actual crimes that are going on because Lord knows if you arrest them, you get... It's considered racist.
European democracy in real time, deeply opposed to women. When you start to notice that they're using both your race and being a minority or a woman against you.
Starting around 2011, 2012, sociologists started to notice a shift in white liberal opinion polling to where white progressives became more extreme in their views on race than black and Hispanic Americans.
Right. It's white liberal women in particular that are very extreme in their views. I mean... I know I kept taking jabs at these friends of mine, but even two of them who happen to be black aren't necessarily that extreme. Like, I remember relaying a story about, if anyone knows about the Sailor Moon redraw challenge, people were complaining that Sailor Moon was being portrayed as too white because of, like, her blonde hair and stuff, even though that's literally her original character design. And... when I told one of my friends about that, they were like, people are just overreacting. So clearly, at least the black liberal women aren't, some of them are, but I don't know. I can't speak on behalf of all of them, and I can't speak on behalf of my friends either.
And they called this, the sociologists did, called it the Great Awakening. And they postulated, where did this come from? Why did white progressives suddenly start obsessing over race in a way that was actually far to the left of where Hispanic and black Americans were on this issue? They found that the media had shifted radically how it talked about these issues. So for example...
Yep, it's all because of the media in particular. All of the propaganda that the media have been pushing for the past 10 years or so has pushed the left to this breaking point to what it is now, and it's very unfortunate.
In 2010, the words white supremacy were mentioned 75 times in the Washington Post and the New York Times.
Oh my god, no. You see this in academia as well. There are like quote-unquote academics that try to push modern politics onto history, like saying that like Vikings were black or that Europeans had lots of black people in it, and it's like, Well, if you're going to say that about Europe, why don't you say that about Africa? Except you can't say that about Africa because then it's colonialism. And it's like, and obviously a very good example of this is the Afrocentrist view that Egypt was all black and that Cleopatra was black, even though she was Greek. And most Egyptians, since ancient times, were very mixed in their races, phenotypes, and ancestry.
Media is different from museums. In 2020, the words white supremacy were mentioned 700 times in the Washington Post and the New York Times and 2,400 times in NPR. The word racism 4,000 times in 2020. The words white and racial privilege from 2013 to 2019 grew by 1,500% in the New York Times and the Washington Post, and the word slavery itself exponentially skyrocketed as a percentage of words.
Even Raven Simone, a typical left-wing or left-leaning person, has come out and spoke out about all this bullshit.
Oh, even Raven Simone. No, I remember when Raven Simone tried to go on The View and she ended up getting ridiculed by some of the things that she said, like saying that she didn't consider herself to be a black American. She considered herself to just be American, which in my view is kind of a fair point, although I wouldn't deny that I'm Latino, so a Latino American, Latin American, but I'm still an American.
I'm not an African American, I'm an American. How long does
pre-watch moment right here, bitches.
a bloodline have to live in one land before they are considered a pure species of that land? Meaning, how long did my people have to be in America to say, hey, no, we're American?
Oh, I see what you. That is kind of a weird take, though.
Compared to some people.
No, actually, no, it's not that weird. It's like people argue that, oh, white people are nothing but colonizers. And then it's like, how long does a certain. Now that I think about it, she does make a good point. How long does a certain people group need to live in a land in order to say that they were native? But the thing is, every single piece of land that's ever existed on Earth has been conquered by either people that have never been to the land, or maybe the land was uninhabited and it ended up being inhabited later, or maybe a land was already inhabited only to be either taken over or replaced by another people. No, it's been going on for ever since the dawn of humanity itself. Different tribes fighting each other, and different cities and city-states and empires fighting each other. It's never stopped, and it's still going on today in many different forms, whether we like it or not.
Who are English American, who are Irish American, who are German American. There's nothing wrong with being African American, but a true African American is someone that is from Africa and moved here, either first generation or second generation, and has a tie to that country that I do not have.
How do people not get that? Like, why do we have to be other in this country?
People are getting.
Oh no, this actually reminds me of someone else that said that. Where he doesn't necessarily consider himself. He's a black dude. He's hilarious. His name is Quizzy on Demand. I'm gonna shill his channel because he's fucking hilarious. Check him out, please. It would appreciate me, and I'm sure he'd appreciate it too. No, he's hilarious. But even he, as a black man, has said that he considers himself to just be American. Yes, he's black, but he's not necessarily from Africa, right?
Sick of the minority oppression status, because they began to see that instead of pushing them or lifting them up, it was holding them down, holding them back. And they're tired of being othered. And the smarter percentage of the left-wing people are starting to realize that instead of having a little cute little campfire, it's starting to turn into a deforestation effort. And they're
Shoe on Head in a nutshell. She's noticed this for a long time, ever since she first started her channel pointing out Tumblerinas.
fleeing camp. And they're starting to realize that the actual concentration camp, you know, the one that everyone said that Trump supposedly was gonna put us in, is the one that they're currently in.
Oh, no shit, no. There is no pink triangle on my arm. The National Socialists put pink triangles on the bodies of gay people in the same way they put yellow stars of David on the bodies of Jewish people. There's no pink triangle on my body right now. So
critical of the Democratic Party right now is because I literally just left it, just like a lot of other people. I was a bleeding heart liberal like all of you. I mean, blue hair and everything.
Oh my
I mean,
God.
believe me, I have plenty of pictures proving that I was all in. If you would have asked me a year ago, I would have said there is no way in hell I will ever vote for Donald Trump. But let me tell you what changed my mind. The big moment for me was when the left started trying to push this like Nazi, Hitler, fascism narrative.
Yep. Even people on the left are noticing just how far gone the left has become. And I await the day that I snap at some of my so-called friends for the fact that they're constantly calling out the right for some of the bullshit that they do, but I've never seen them talk about the left in the same way. They never bring it up, and it bothers the hell out of me. And oh Lord, they are not ready. No, they are not ready for me to crash out on them.
They're trying to push right now, like what y'all actually did is made a lot of us really go research Trump even harder. And we started to realize that a lot of things that you guys had shown us about Trump and things that he had said were taken way out of context.
Exactly. No, people always point the finger and say that the president is a fascist, as Aiden Ross would pronounce it. That he's literally the mustachioed painter, that the mustachioed Austrian painter, that he is a national socialist. A little ironic considering that they consider themselves to be socialist, and that he's just all of these bad things. Now, granted, there are legitimate things that you can criticize Trump for. Like, if you ask me how I felt about Trump, in all honesty, I'm fairly ambivalent, and I have no real opinion on him. But the hate that people have for them is so fucking annoying that I just want to I'm just tired of it, guys. At the end of the day, this is why I don't believe in the political spectrum.
A lot of us started noticing a pattern where you guys were showing us like little 10-second clips of a 10-minute conversation that did not reflect the entirety of that conversation at
Yep, taking things out of context, what both sides are very good at.
all. So that was number one. And then around Thanksgiving, all of a sudden you guys are telling us that it would be better for us to sit at home and spend the holidays with no one than it would be to go home to your family who voted for Trump.
Oh, yeah, I can imagine. It's just... Now, granted, I don't really care that much for holidays. I'm at that point to where holidays are just regular days for me, but I understand the sentiment.
Realize that you have been in an abusive relationship, especially when you start to see how depressed and mentally ill everyone around you is.
Would you guys be honest with me? Do I look like I take antipsychotics and I'm queer?
Kind of.
Hold on. Can you tell? See it?
And don't be fooled, Gen Z and Gen Alpha is starting to take note of all of this. They are realizing that your insides, how you feel inside, creates your outside.
No, one thing I noticed between me and some of my friends is that they are mostly quote-unquote millennials. At least the left-leaning friends that I have. My quote-unquote right-leaning friends that I don't really talk to that much these days, at all. They are my age because we all went to school together, but I don't know. I just don't care about the left or the right. Both of them can eat my ass as far as I'm concerned. No, we're gonna go mask off from here on out. It's gonna be all nonsense from me all day. That didn't make any sense. That's not how I wanted it to come out, but once again, I'm sticking by.
It's your external sense of the world, how you view yourself, how the world might view you. If you are living constantly in fear, perpetually angry, walking on eggshells no matter where you go, it starts to catch up to you. Gen Z believes wokeism is only for ugly people. Are they right? Yes and no. Being ugly doesn't mean physically or conventionally unattractive. In my opinion, it means a negative overall aura about you.
Right. It's like you have, like, the whole Sydney Sweeney thing. Like, obviously that has to do with being conventionally attractive. But personality-wise, that plays a really big factor. It doesn't matter how hot you are. If you're a complete jackass, then you're not worth touching, honestly. I would much rather have someone quote-unquote fugly than some macho man who just talks shit all day. No.
How freaking depressed I was when I was functioning as a liberal. Liberalism will literally make you hate yourself, it will make you hate your family, it will make you hate your friends, it will make you hate everything about the world. And I'm not saying that you should just be ignorant to everything that is going on in the world, but the way that the left chooses to internalize everything that is going on in the world is detrimental to their mental health. And this is why people try to tell you that empathy is dangerous, but even that you want to take out of context. Empathy itself is a great quality to have.
Yeah, it's like, my mom considers me to be very empathetic, and I kind of am. I do have a lot of quote-unquote empathy. I don't like boasting about myself, though. But, yeah. But even I only have so much patience.
Empathy without discernment is detrimental. You have got to be able to discern when you are carrying too much and you need to take a step back, and none of you are doing that. Believe me, it is possible to care about everything that is going on in the world and not let it consume every single thought that you have and every single conversation that you have.
Exactly. I think about the state of the world quite often, thinking about, I wish things could change for the better, but for some reason, people just don't want that.
A lot of us are leaving the party in droves because you guys have made it impossible to have any sort of individual thought whatsoever.
Right, they just regurgitate what everyone else says, and technically the right does that too, but it's the left that's being particularly vocal about it.
Jillian Michaels, arguably traditionally a fairly left person, born and raised in California, or at least lived there for a long time, lesbian. Even she is sick of the shit.
He's gone into the Smithsonian.
Yeah.
He's effectively now has some random person deciding what is appropriate for the Smithsonian to teach in terms of American history.
Because have you looked at some of the things that are being reviewed?
Slavery was a bad thing to talk about.
In the context of American history, what are you saying is incorrect by saying that
you
it was white
cannot,
people oppressing black people?
every single thing is like, oh, no, this is all because white people bad. And
That's all it is. It's just if your skin is even lighter than mine, then I guess your destination is the fires of hell.
that's just not the truth. Like, for example, every single exhibit, I have a list of every single one. Like, people migrated from Cuba because white people bad.
People migrated from Cuba because white people... That makes no sense whatsoever. People migrate from Cuba because they don't want to live under a communist dictatorship, yet the people speaking on behalf of Cuban people, being Latinos, are communists. They escaped the communists just so they could be surrounded by more communists. Make it make sense.
One called Change Your Game, right? This has been an installation there. Is gender testing fair in sports? Does that, and then it goes on to talk about how it's complex to do gender testing in sports. It's not complex, it's basic science. That's untrue. It's XX.
Gender testing in sports, huh? I mean, I'm not going to drop my pants for someone, alright? But if you really needed to check, then you can look at my face. I mean, I'm not going to describe what my face looks like to you, but there's definitely a lot of hair on it.
Chromosome, XY chromosome.
Good lord.
That's sports. Is it fair to have biological men competing against biological women in sports? No.
I had a conversation with a good friend of mine the other day about what conservatism means now compared to 10 or even 30 or 40 years ago, and I think this guy nails what I think.
This definition of a conservative liberal has changed the way I think about politics.
Conservatives now, but really what we are conserving is classical liberalism, like the old liberalism, not the horrible postmodern...
Oh, yes. No, I remember seeing a clip about some older-looking guy who was more of an old-school Democrat who really did not like the direction that the party was going. And I think that guy is the type of person that, I mean, if that person were to voice how they felt about the party, they'd be considered National Socialist, but you know.
Lefty nonsense stuff, but the good stuff, the Enlightenment values, freedom of speech, things like the presumption of innocence, free enterprise, all of the things that I think helped make this...
No, funny that she mentioned free enterprise. Remember, I mentioned at the early on in the video, I might split it into two parts. It may or may not have been in the first part, but I mentioned that the reason that the Democrats are blue is because they were very anti-communist. I mean, JFK was a Democrat, and he was very critical of the Soviets, so much so that, at least according to the JFK files, Cuba and the KGB were involved in this assassination.
Country really great, and a lot of the countries around the West. I can never forget those things because I have a comparison country, and I have lived and seen a place where those things are not respected, institutions are not respected, where everybody looked like me, but it was multicultural, and there was so much conflict. Those are the things that led me on the journey to conservatism.
So to answer the question of this video, why are so many celebrities and gay people fleeing the left? Isn't it obvious now? So many of us are classic liberals. We're artists, we're lovers, we're not fighters. So many of us are seeing what it's like firsthand to live under leftist ideas, leftist ideals and morals. We can see that it's not working. The left is changing language in order to control us. They're ignoring those who've been hurt. They're celebrating physical unhealthiness, and they're not allowing for much freedom of thought, if any.
Right. You had more than 80% of surveyed Harvard faculty identify as lib. How much of this is secretly something else? The fact that they have very liberal and very conservative is very... I don't even know how to feel about this, honestly. I just don't want anything to do with liberals or conservatives. I'd rather just be who I am. And I am none of your business, which is what BizCoon is short for.
Big universities. And when you start to see all of this in front of your eyes, you realize this is no longer for me. If you enjoyed this video, or at least enjoy my hat, because I think I look good in red, white, and blue.
Okay, that was a crazy video, not gonna lie. There was so much to talk about. This video went on for too long, so I'm gonna divide it into two parts. Hopefully you guys have seen both parts if I decide to do that, and I will see you guys in another video. Hopefully with a possible special announcement. But stay tuned for that by subscribing. Thank you so much.